Hey, and welcome to Kiwi Tech. Today we're going to make a case that allows a QX10 to fit on an Xperia Z Ultra. So, this is Kiwi Tech, let's get into it. So from going left to right, we have the QX10 lens. Next to that we have the Z1 cover, which allows the QX10 to fit onto that. And then on the right hand side we have the case that fits nicely onto an Xperia Z Ultra. So hopefully, all going to plan, this case will be glued onto the Xperia Z Ultra case. Now the QX10 fits nicely on this Z1 case, as you can see, but we need to do a little bit of cutting to fit it onto that case. So let me just take this back off. Now the hardest thing is that we have to cut along this side and that side and take all those bits off so it fits nice and snug. And we also need to make sure that that camera part overlaps. So the gluing part is second most important, but the most important is cutting all those little bits off. So I've got my craft knife here, and we need to make sure that little lip, it's only really small, that one on the side, is nice and flush. So let's cut that. You should probably cut it away from you and not towards you, but I'm pretty confident I won't cut myself. Now, with the power of editing, I can speed this up. And there you go, you can see that's nice and straight now. There's no bit sticking up, so it's going to glue nicely onto the Z Ultra case. And I'll speed this part up as well. You really need to make sure that you don't cut into the actual back of the case. You will just want to cut off those brackets on the side. Now you can see I've started to cut into it here. Alright, and now you can see that it's finished. There is a little bit of residue that I need to scrape off, just like whittling a stick. Just take those little edges off there. As you can see, I've had to move my knife blade out a lot. This type of thermoplastic is very blunting on a blade, so I had to go right to the end to enable that sharp blade to stay sharp. And that's pretty much taken all that off the lip there, just on this top part and the side. Okay, once you've done that, you then need to put it over top of the Xperia Z Ultra case and make sure that fits nicely. And there is no part of the Z1 case that is too high, so that should glue nicely on there. Just going to put one there, two at the end, and one in the middle. Make sure you don't put any of that circle there, because that needs to open and close. And that will allow the QX10 and Qx100 to stay in position. Okay, so that's pretty much where I want to have it. So I'm just going to go and mix up some 2-pot resin. I'm doing this on my kitchen bench, so I'm going to need to put a little bit of plastic down. It's just a bit of transparent overlay. There's my glue and there's my hardener. Now I need a 1 to 0.5 mix, so I'm going to have about a thumb drop of resin and then about half a thumb drop of hardener. Make sure that the glue you use, or the resin you use, you read the instructions. This one is a 1 to 0.5 mix. Anything more than that, if you have too much hardener, then it will dry too quickly and crack. So you don't want it to dry quickly, but then again you don't want it to dry too long and have to wait quite a while. So I'm just going to mix that up and then apply it to my case. Right, so it's important you apply it to the Z1 case and not the Ultra case, because that's what you're sticking the Z1 case onto the Ultra. So I'm just going to put a little bit at the top, and I'm going to put most of mine at the bottom, because that's where the larger part of my case is. That's where the strength's probably going to be. Mix those together. The more surface area you cover with that resin, the stronger it's going to be. And at the top part, I'm just going to have a little bit. I certainly don't want it to squeeze out the side when I push it on. Now comes the second part that's really important, overlaying that case on the top. The camera, we can see on the Z1 and the Ultra, need to overlap. And obviously make sure you put it on the right side of your case. So that's going to be square. Move it a little bit. You've got a little bit of play. Hold that in place and then make sure it's nice and flush. Make sure there's no gaps, but also make sure that it is level and it's not crooked. So once that's applied, you've just got to leave it dry, and that's it, you're done. And here's a video showing both sides of the case and how it attaches onto the QX10 and it sits nicely. My phone's not here, so I can't show you that, but in a follow-up video I will show you both together. I hope you found that useful, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been KiwiTech, and I'll catch you next time.